there. Welcome back to Literally Heinous. We are doing a solo episode today. So I want to talk about some of the interesting experiences that I've had in the last month. So I'm going to work backwards. So I'm going to start with the new year and with my New Year's resolutions. So I was looking, okay, first of all, I'm an avid notes app user. Like, I'm pretty crazy about it. I've been through like so many phones because I'm literally a dumbass, but for whatever reason, by some grace of God, like all of my notes and my notes app have like backed up. So like the iCloud, I guess, whatever, like, thank you, Steve. And I write down like everything, every thought that I have, any like text that I need to like draft out beforehand. I have like all these like random lists. I've written down every dream that I've had since 2015, which is like psychotic. But one really good thing I do is I always write down my New Year's resolution. So, it's pretty cool when I can like see, okay. Also, when I do New Year's resolutions, like I don't really, you'll never see me like, oh, it's May, like gotta go do my New Year's resolution. Like, you do your New Year's resolutions as just like a blanket kind of goal, but you always forget about them. Like, I would never be like, oh my God, it's June. Like, I forgot my resolution was to like, after January, like, it's not a new year, babes. Like, it's just a year. But I will say, like, I can see consistency of things that are on my resolutions list. Number one is focus better. It's always on there because I always like go on my phone during work, or like I just get really distracted. Like, I'm so distracted at work. Like, when I read an email, sometimes like I read half of it, get confused, and literally close the email and forget about it, which is so bad. And then like a day later, someone will like follow up with me, or I'll like wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh my God, I didn't respond to that email. I'd love to get back on my Vyvanse. So I was on Vyvanse from like 7th grade until the end of college. And I didn't know what I had, man. Like, when I was in college, like, people were buying Adderall left and right, and I didn't realize, like, people were buying, like, 5 milligrams of Adderall, like, 3 milligrams. I was on 40 milligrams of Vyvanse. My junior year of college, I was psychotic. Like, I was on, like, a 200-calorie-a-day diet. I would wake up, go to class, and I would just live off of coffee and vegan coconut bread and come home because I had class and then, like, 8,000 clubs that I was in and like tours that I was giving. I would come home usually around like 10 p.m. and make like Annie's mac and cheese and then just like black out on the weekends. I was not okay. It was also the skinniest I ever was. Like, of course, I miss being that thin, but I was extremely depressed. And then senior year, I like kind of weaned myself off of Vyvanse. And I was like, I don't want to live like this. Like, it turned me into a zombie. It was really hard like doing improv, because we would have like improv practice Tuesdays and Thursdays. So like I would be tweaking on Vyvanse all day, like scrambling to get everything done, like doing my tours like a mile a minute. And then I'd get to improv and have to like be myself. Like, that was really hard. Anyways, all of that being said, I would love to get back on my Vyvanse. I just realized like I'm not providing like a good case for me being on it, but I really think it would do wonders for me at work. So, and I've tried, like I've called doctor's offices, like it's because I was prescribed it 450 years ago. Like, every doctor's like, you're not the same as you were when you were 12. And I was like, well, maybe I am. So maybe I'll find a way to get back on Vyvanse. If not, like, totally fine, like whatever. Okay. Also on my New Year's resolutions list is to have better toes. I know this is weird, but like I have this dream of being the kind of girl who can have a French manicure on her toes. Like, when I see a woman, like, it's not a girl, who am I kidding? Like, a woman with a French manicure on her toes. And I'm not some like foot creep. Like, just sometimes I'll glance down at like people's toes. And if you have a French manicure on your toes, like, you must be the most like perfect, put together, gorgeous, like everything in your life goes well. Like, the kinds of women that have French manicures on their toes are the women that lotion their whole body after they shower, and they have these luxurious robes, and they have like a membership at like Equinox, and like they stay at luxurious hotels, and like they never pick scabs or pick dead ends on their hair. Like, I want to be at a place in my life where I have a French manicure on my toes. That is when I know that I've made it. So I'm really embarrassed of my feet. I hate my feet. Ugh, they make me like gag. So I would love to like get to a point where like my toenails are like really, really pretty. So that is also always on my resolutions list. So this year that's kind of new on my resolutions list is no negative self-talk, which is really hard for me. When I like make a mistake or like do something wrong or say something dumb, I literally spiral into like a downward, like just telling myself that I hate myself and that I'm stupid. And I know it's like really bad for you, but I just like, I physically like, I can't stop. Sometimes it feels like the only thing that helps in those situations is to just like berate myself. So this is my resolution. Every time I start like getting into that headspace, like I'm going to write down a lesson that I've learned for that instance. For example, I was in New York over like right in between Christmas and New Year's, and my dad, my brother, my boyfriend, and I stayed at this stunningly gorgeous hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Okay, this is not the lesson I was referring to, but another lesson is never, ever, ever stay in Midtown Manhattan. We were at like near Rockefeller Center. Honestly, it was like pretty god awful. Like just, it was so crowded everywhere. It was not the vibe. So we did that for the nights leading up to New Year's Eve. So then New Year's Eve day, my boyfriend Jack and I we got another hotel by the JFK airport because we were doing New Year's Eve in New York, not like a ball drop. I'm not a loser, but like at like a party on the Lower East Side. And I booked a flight for us. Like we were flying out January 1st at like 11 a.m. Okay, not ideal, but like doable, you know, like not that bad. Our only other option was flying out at 7 p.m. And another lesson that I have learned is never, ever, ever, if you're on a trip and it's the last day, like getting the night flight out, do not ever gaslight yourself into thinking like, oh, well, I'll have the full day to like explore and like whatever. I've done it twice and it sucks every time. Like I booked the 7 p.m. flight. You got to check out of your hotel at 11. So now you have your suitcases and you're just like wandering around the city. You're tired, you're hungover, book the morning flight. Okay. So remembering the lesson that I learned the past 2 times that I've done that, I booked the 11 a.m. flight returning on January 1st. American Airlines pushed it back up to 8:30 in the morning. Terrible. I don't know like how hard I tried to like change it. I don't really fuck with any airline that's not Delta, so I was kind of like whatever. So now that we have this new information that our flight is departing at 8:30 in the morning on New Year's Day, Jack and I are like, okay, let's book a hotel by the airport because we're going to a party in Brooklyn for New Year's Eve. Like we might as well just book a hotel that's close to the airport so we can like maximize our time sleeping and we'll have a short ride because we've done like the subway to the airport and it can be like an hour and a half sometimes. So Jack books this hotel, asks me like what I think about it. I scan through the reviews and I'm like, sure. And this hotel is called the Airport Plaza JFK. Do not ever stay there. So we booked the hotel. It was like $170 total between the two of us. I was like, fine, whatever. So I'm going to like work backwards through all this. So we get to our hotel. This is after staying at the Loti Palace in Midtown Manhattan, aka where they filmed Gossip Girl, the hotel that Chuck Bass bought. Like it was that hotel. It was the most beautiful hotel I've ever seen. So I'm already like in kind of a bad mood because I had to leave that gorgeous hotel and I knew I was going to some like shit ass airport hotel. So when I think of shit ass airport hotel, I think of like, you know, how bad can it really be? Like it's not a motel, it's still a hotel. It had the name Plaza in it, whatever. So we get there and I just like immediately knew this was not the vibe. Like there were already people like at the front desk, like asking for their rooms to be changed. And I was just like, oh God. So you go to the front desk, give them my information. They have no name for us, no reservation. I show them the email and I'm like, okay, well, I booked it. So they're like, well, we don't have a room for you. And I was like, okay, well, is there anything else you can do? And then the 2 guys are like whispering to each other. And then he just like hands me a room key. And I was like, okay, like, did you just like pull this out of your ass? So we go up to the room. I open the door. There's someone's bags in there. Someone was in the room, but like there wasn't actually someone in the room, but like someone's bags and there were like bottles on the table. And then something in my head, I was like, why do I feel like this key would work at every door? So I tried it on another door and it worked. So they handed me a master key. So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, they obviously don't have a room for us. They were checking us in with a paper, like a piece of paper on a clipboard. So I'm freaking out and I'm like, well, why the fuck would they give me a master key? So how many other people are they giving master keys to? So I go back down, I tell them, and I was like, honestly, just like forget it. Like, can you refund us? And they were like, no, you have to go through Chase because I booked it through Chase Travel, whatever. So I'm freaking out. We have to be at dinner in like an hour. I look disgusting. Like, I need to get ready. We have to take the subway. And then I was berating myself. Like, I wanted to throw myself into the Hudson River. Like, I was so angry at myself that I didn't like check the reviews more, or that I didn't like read more into it, that like I let Jack do it. No offense to Jack, but like I was so mad at myself. Like, I could have screamed. Like, I was like in tears in the lobby. Like, I was like, where the fuck are we gonna stay? So okay, and just to wrap that up, Jack ended up booking us a hotel at like a Marriott that was like a 10-minute walk away. And the Marriott was so nice. Like, it was no like Loti Palace, but like it was so nice. Like, the linens were just like, it was just a good hotel, and they had like a free shuttle in the morning, and the like concierge woman was so nice. I told her our whole like troubles, and it's just so nice to get sympathy when you're really mad about something. So the lesson for that was like what kind of kicked off like the catalyst of like my self-talk resolution. The lesson for this is, if you are to book an airport hotel, book with a name that you recognize. So like a Marriott, Embassy Suites are usually pretty reliable. Like a Hilton is pretty reliable. Do not go rogue and book some like independent hotel. Like, book with a name that you recognize. Like, Marriotts are good. I'm an Embassy Suites girly. As you know, I had my birthday party there. I talked about it in my last episode. But yeah, so that was the lesson for that. Another one that I did last week when I was negative self-talking is because, okay, so I get home from the gym and I'm about to cook dinner, but I realized I didn't, or maybe I wasn't at the gym, I don't know, but I was like fucking around doing something. And I'm like getting ready to eat, and I realized I didn't cook the rice. Because, okay, this is my beef with rice. Why the fuck does it take so long to cook? Like, if I'm cooking a cup of brown rice, there's no reason it needs to take 40 minutes on the stovetop. So I'm like mad at myself because like now I gotta wait a whole other like 40 minutes for this like brown rice to cook. Ugh. So my lesson there was like, if you're cooking with rice, you need to start cooking before you're hungry. I just don't understand like why rice takes so long to cook. Like, there's these tiny little grains. Like, why does a whole ass like pasta, like a bowl of like bow tie pasta, rigatoni, take 10 minutes al dente, but rice is 40? It's just like asinine. Like, I just have a lot of problems with rice. So I'm going to work backwards a little bit. So now I'm going to talk about dry December. So if you know me, or like, you know, I've talked about this before, but I do dry months every once in a while. So last year, so like 2021, I did dry December, and that was my first dry month. And maybe I kind of have this like retroactive, like rose colored glasses about it, but I remember like thoroughly enjoying my time. And like, I remember feeling like really good about myself, and like feeling really clean and light and healthy, and just really like I was getting myself out there. I was going to all these comedy shows by myself. I was doing all these different things like I wouldn't normally do. And then I did a dry month this past fall when I first wanted to launch the podcast. So I worked on my episodes a lot and just really like spent a lot of time by myself, staying in on the weekends. And so then I knew I wanted to do dry December again because I did it last year, and December was a good time for me to do it because, you know, my family doesn't really drink. It's better for me than January because in January I'm actually going to New Orleans with my roommates, my college roommates, and Lord knows I will not be sober for that. So I decided to do dry December, and I went into it with a lot of confidence because like I've done this before, whatever. And honestly, I had a horrible time. I was extremely sad, like a lot of the times. And this is what I've kind of chalked it down to. So I made the mistake of not really planning out my weekends ahead of time. I don't know why I didn't do that. So when I did like my other dry months, like I was really strategic about like what I was going to do that weekend, buying tickets to stuff, or like staying in and working on the podcast. This dry December, I just like raw dogged it. Like I should have planned out my weekends more, and I should have like been more strategic about like knowing what I was going to do that weekend, because once it was the weekend, it was like Friday night, I was like this second weekend in a row where we're just like watching movies and eating. I'm like, okay, this is not fun. Okay, this is the other thing I realized, that this might be like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. But the last 2 times I did dry month, I went into it with a bang. So the first, like the catalyst of these dry months was like weekend on top of weekend of extremely heavy drinking. So by the time I was like doing the dry month, I was like, thank God. So the first dry month that I did, like December 2021, I remember like the the last day that I drank before dry month. It was the Michigan-Ohio State game, and I went to Ann Arbor with my friends. And if you like went to college in the Midwest, like you know those like football drinking days, like the kinds of Saturdays, the kinds of game days where you're literally drinking for like 14 hours straight. And like at the end of the day, where like you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I think I drank like 2,000 calories in beer, and you just feel like 100,000 pounds. It was that kind of feeling. Like I had the best day that day. Like we had so much fun. It was actually like when Ohio State lost to Michigan for the first time in a long time, but it didn't really bother me. I also remember like we went to Ann Arbor, and then after the game we all drove back to Detroit, and it was the first snowfall of the year, and we had like this snowball fight outside, like me and my friends, and it was just the most like glorious, like fun. I don't know, it's kind of like one of those core memory things. But anyways, I felt awful the next day. Like I felt disgusting. So I was ready for a dry month. Like it was due time. And then in the fall, when I did a dry month, the day before, I went to this like day party, kind of like block party in my neighborhood, and I also drank a lot that day. So it was like kind of nice. Like the first few weekends after like a big weekend of heavy drinking, it's always kind of like a really nice reset. Like you're so grateful to not be drinking. So when this December rolled around, like I had a pretty quiet November, like pretty quiet, like latter half of the year. Like it was, Thanksgiving, just like doing a lot of family stuff. And I already wasn't really going out or wasn't doing anything in November, that like by the time December rolled around, I was like, damn, like I kind of want to go out. Like I haven't gone out in a while. So that like kind of bummed me out a lot, to like, I was just like ready to be social, and like, and it's not to say that I can't like go to bars and stuff and like not drink. Like I can, and I do that. Like I have done that before. It just like stops being fun after a certain point. Like I'll go with my friends and just not drink or get a kombucha, but once everybody gets on their like third drink, it stops being fun being the sober one. So all of this is to say that like the whole dry month, I was just really looking forward to this trip to New York. Like it was the kind of looking forward to a trip where I was counting down the days, like checking the calendar every day, like literally thinking, like I felt like I was a kid, like getting ready for camp. Like I was thinking like, how far away am I? Like how many days, how many weeks? Like the weather app on your iPhone, like I would wait to see until like, you know how it shows you like 10 days in advance? I would like wait to see like the days that like my trip was there. I'd be like, oh my God, like I can like get a first glimpse of like what the weather will be. Like I rented clothes for this. I was making reservations like months and months ago. I had our itinerary planned every day for the 4 days. Like it was the kind of excitement for a trip that I haven't felt in a really long time. And it was like, I was so excited that I almost was scared that like something was going to go wrong. Like something would happen, a flight would get canceled, like just something. I was scared. But eventually like I get to New York and I'm like, holy shit, like I'm here. Like I made it. Like, oh my God. And I planned my dry December so that my last day of dry December would be my first night in New York City. And I was so excited. And we went to this restaurant, St. Theo's in the West Village. And my first drink back on my bullshit was a spicy mezcal drink, which is like my absolute favorite cocktail. And then we went to a comedy show, which was really great. And then the next day, we went to, this was not my choice in the itinerary, but whatever. We went to the Syracuse versus Minnesota football game at Yankee Stadium. That was like fun, I guess, whatever. But then that night we go to a restaurant, and this is where things go awry, but I'm going to just leave you hanging for a second. So we go to this restaurant called Lily's Victorian, and obviously I picked it because 1, it had my name. 2, it was named in this article as like best Christmas bars to visit when you're in New York City. Red flag is when like you choose a bar to eat at based, first of all, like it's a bar that serves food. Red flag. Second of all, don't choose a place just because it has your name in it, okay? Or because of the decorations. Nobody had recommended this place to me. Nobody told me to go here. And I live off of recommendations. And I picked it because it had my name and because the decorations looked cool. Anyways, we eat the food. I have a truffle, cheesy, gnocchi pasta. It was fine. And then we saw this off-Broadway musical called Titanic. And I will spare you the pain of somebody describing a musical that you haven't seen, because I know how it feels to be like on the receiving end of someone like describing like something that you've never seen, and you're kind of just like, okay, like what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? But I will leave you with this. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it's a parody of the Titanic. The Titanic is my favorite movie. It's basically a Celine Dion sing-along. It was so unbelievably good. Like, tears in my eyes. It was so funny. So Jack and I, this month alone in December, saw Hamilton, Les Mis, and Titanic. And our fuck, marry, kill was marry Les Mis and fuck Titanic and kill Hamilton. Like, that's how good this musical was. So towards the end of the musical, I feel my dress starting to get tight. And I was wearing like a pretty form-fitting maxi dress. And so I kind of like slightly unzip it. And one thing about me, so I'm a pants unbuttoner. Like if I'm sitting, like if I'm wearing jeans sitting down, like even if I'm at work, like my pants are unbuttoned 99% of the time. So I'm like in the theater, it's pretty dark. So I like unzip a little bit. And then like progressively, like as the show like nears the end, like I'm unzipping more and more because like the dress is starting to feel so tight. And I was just so entranced by the musical because it was so good. I just really wanted to be comfortable. So by the end of the show, like my zipper is completely undone, like done to my butt crack. And then like the show ends, the audience tears out of their seats, like applauding. And I'm like scrambling because like I'm trying to like applause, but like also like my dress is like the straps are falling off my shoulders. So it was just chaotic. But that was when I knew that something was not going well. So then we go to this bar on the Lower East Side and we meet up with me and Jack's friend Michael. And then we find out that one of my best friends from high school was playing in a band like 2 blocks away. So I'm like freaking out, like I can't handle this excitement. Like when I get like really overexcited, like my favorite people like all being together and like a fun night ahead of me, like my blood was like going, like I couldn't handle it. But then my stomach starts churning. So we're in this bar on the Lower East Side. There's like one bathroom, and it has that kind of one-way mirror where you're on the toilet and you can see like the bar. So it looks like it's transparent. So I'm in that bathroom like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, is that a window? And then I realized it was just a mirror. It's black lit. So there's no lights. It's all just like glowing. And my stomach turns on me. And I will spare you the details. I will let you guys fill in the blanks. So I'm in this bar dying, but I'm like determined to have a good time. I come out and I'm like, everything's fine. I order a beer. I'm like trying to drink away the pain. And then I have to go to the bathroom again. And I'm like, oh shit, like it's okay. Like I'll be fine. So I come out. I'm like, keep drinking the beer. And I'm like, I'm just going to drink through the pain. So I like keep drinking. I have to go to the bathroom again. This is all literally within like 20 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, I think something's wrong. Like, I'm going to go to CVS and get a Tums. So that's the best part about New York. One of the best parts is like, you're never more than 0.2 miles away from CVS. So I go get a Tums, but at this point, I'm too far gone. Like, there's no use in helping me. So Jack and I, we go get Tums. We come back. And one thing about me is I can drink through pretty much anything. Like, I was ready to drink. I was ready to party, but my stomach said otherwise. So I'm in and out of the bathroom for like the next hour. And my dad's like, Lily, like, seriously, go home. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I won't. Like, I have to have fun tonight. So then we go to this other bar. And this bar I found out about on Dumois because Kieran Culkin from Succession was there. So I really wanted to go to this bar because I heard he goes there a lot. And I'm dying. I'm crumpled over, like clutching my stomach. So I go to the bathroom there. And the whole time I'm just like praying that they have a reliable bathroom. Like, I'm really nervous at this point because I know that something is wrong with my stomach and I have to go to the bathroom pretty much every 10 minutes. And we're going to this new bar and like, I don't know what their bathroom situation is. But they had actually a really reliable bathroom. So I go in, I throw up, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this might be the end of it. Like, once you throw up, like, I feel like you're kind of like out of the woods. So I come out, I'm like, so much better, like, whatever. And then 10 minutes later, I'm back in the bathroom. So then we go to the show. And I am like limping. Like, I am like that scene in SpongeBob where it's like the snail race and Gary is like dying. Like, I'm basically limping to this show. And I'm like handing my ID to like the bouncer and I like cannot function. My dad's like begging me to go back to the hotel. And I'm like, I have to see Gus. Like, I'm dead. And then I go to the bathroom like 2 more times there. And then I was like, holy shit, like, I gotta go. So then Jack and I go back to the hotel, take a cab. I'm just praying that the cab driver, like, that it's just all green lights all the way. I don't know if if it's a normal thing for like New Yorkers to do. Maybe it is. But like, I was kind of obsessed with like how like hitting the green lights. And like, if we, like when you're going like a certain miles per hour, like you can just like align with the timing of the lights. So I'm like trying to like make sure like we hit all the green lights and trying not to throw up. So then we get back to the hotel, to our hotel room. Nothing felt better. I was like, thank God, like that gorgeous Chuck Bass hotel. I throw my guts up. And I'm sorry if you're like sensitive about this kind of stuff, but like I throw up so much, like the kind of throw up, like I thought I was gonna like throw my uterus up. Like, it was so like from guttural inside me. So that basically took up like the whole rest of the night. I was like in and out of the bathroom until like 9 a.m., sleeping in the bathroom. It was so incredibly awful. And I was just devastated because I just really wanted to go out and have a good time. So that compromised like the whole next day, the whole next night too. Didn't do anything that night. But I woke up on New Year's Eve feeling good, replenished. And then we went to the Airport Plaza JFK and I told you about that whole debacle. And then everything was fine. Like, once we got to that Marriott, like my stomach had recovered. I was able to like smell food without throwing up again. We went to dinner with friends and then we went out to a bar. I was still like really nauseous to smells, like the smell of tequila at the bar. I was like kind of gagging, but we went to this really cool bar called Make Believe. And then we went to a party in Brooklyn. And that was it. And like the trip like ended up really well. It ended up really good, but what I like am cautiousing, I don't know if that's a word. What I'm warning myself about next time is to be cautious about like glamorizing your trips or like looking too forward to something. And maybe, I don't know if that's like a negative outlook or not, but I think like in my head, like I did dry December. That was like kind of hard for me. And I was just really excited for this trip. And I had all these things I wanted to do and bars I wanted to go to and people I wanted to see and like places to check out. And like, I really wanted to have like cool stories for the podcast and like fun. You know how New York is, like things just like happen. Like I really wanted like something like fun, cool, and like some cool stories. And the only story I got was about my food poisoning, but that's okay. So yeah. Okay, so our pop culture element for today, I'm going to talk about Selena Gomez. So Selena's like, she's kind of always in the news. She's really just like a staple in pop culture. And I have never like been, okay, actually, I was a diehard fan of hers when I was in 8th grade. I like went to her concert and everything, and I loved her because like she just embodied like self-confidence, and like she was like just the Disney, like the good girl out of like Miley and Demi. Like she was always the one that was like your best bet on being a good role model. So that's why I really liked her. And then I don't know, my relationship with her has just been kind of like, I don't really care for her that much. Like I think she's fine. But I wanted to talk a little bit about like her recent news. This is old news, by the way. And this is like 3 months old, like about her kidney stuff. But I'm going to talk about it anyways because like it took me some time to gather my thoughts. So I think it's really coming to a head that Selena is a messy person. And I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm not saying like she's petty or like she's dramatic. Like, I mean, I think she is kind of petty and dramatic, but I think she's like a very messy, chaotic person. So it's widely known in like the gossip sites that I follow that her publicity team and PR team is like the best in the business. Like the way that they are able to hide every single thing that she does, like sweep it under a rug, and for years maintain this image of like philanthropy and self-confidence and like just really being like internationally beloved is like pretty impressive. So when she was dating Justin, so they were on and off again for like, I don't even know, like 10 years, like a really long time. They both were addicted to drugs. Like Selena very much had a drug problem, like just as much as Justin did. They were super messy, really chaotic. Like he was abusive to her. Some even say she was abusive to him. Their like relationship gets really dark really quickly if you want to like read into some of that yourself. But she was able to kind of come out of it as like having the upper hand, and like the issue with like all of like the Selena, Justin, and Hailey Bieber of it all is that like there's no way to get like fully like real information because the fans on like all the different sides are absolutely insane. Like nobody knows exactly like what is true. The general consensus is that in March 2018, when Justin and Selena broke up for the last time, he wanted to propose to her and he wanted to get married, and she said no. She was trying to like clean herself up, and like she was really just trying to like get clean. So 3 months later, he proposes to Hailey Bieber in June. So Hailey Bieber was 21 at the time, which seems so young, but at the time, like I thought she was so old. So they get engaged, and that didn't like come out of nowhere. Like Justin and Hailey have also been off and on, like in the periods when like Selena and him were off and on, like they were church buddies. Like they would go to church a lot together, and like since 2014. So it wasn't completely random. And I think a lot of people say they got engaged so fast because they wanted to have sex, because like Hailey's like Christian or whatever, which is cool, I guess. But also I think I like heard somewhere that Justin just kind of wanted to like be settled down, and like he just wanted to be married, like just to be married. And like if he wasn't gonna like have like a full commitment, like he didn't want it, which is fine. So now they've been together for a really long time, and they've been together, I mean, so for like at least 4 years now. And I think a lot of people are surprised that they just seem like really good. And I know like this time last year, there were a lot of like edits circulating of like random clips of like him being mean to her, yelling at her, closing the car door on her. And all of these things are like taken out of context. So like nobody really knows what is true. But the Jelena fans, so like the people that have not let up on Justin Bieber and Selena, and there's so many of them, it's actually like insane. I'm convinced that like some of the Jelena people, like, were you even alive for like when they dated? Like, were you even a sentient being? Like, I remember when they dated, but like you don't see me crying about it. Like, it's crazy like how insane people are. So like those Jelena people, they make those edits of like Justin being mean to Hailey, saying all these nasty things like Justin wants to be with Selena, like she doesn't belong here. And anytime Hailey Bieber like goes live on Instagram or anything, like the Jelena fans like swarm in to comment, and it is actually insane. And I think it's made a lot of people like have respect for Hailey for just like how high she's held her head, and like that's a really hard thing to do. She's spoken out about it recently in the last few months. I know she like posted a video or TikTok and she's like, please leave me alone. That was like heart-wrenching, I guess. And then she went on Call Her Daddy, which was so boring. Do not even listen to it. She didn't even mention Selena by name. She just kept saying like his ex, and it's so like stupid. Like, come on, we all know who you're talking about. But just the anguish that it causes her. When she was at the Met Gala this past year with Justin Bieber, people were chanting Jelena at her while she was taking her pictures, which is just so upsetting. And it is so crazy that people actively go out of their way to like chant these things at a couple that has been married for 4 years. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it. But then Selena and Hailey took that iconic picture in the fall of this past year. I don't remember what the event was, some like arts event in LA, but Selena and Hailey took a picture together and it literally like broke the internet. Like, this is like the Treaty of Versailles for me. Like, it was just so jarring to see. And I think that like this is part, bring it back to Selena, like this is part where it comes back where like Selena is just like, she's kind of in her messy era right now. So I don't know what happened, but she's like taken back her social media account. Like, it's been very obvious for the last few years that like her social media account was either not run by her or was extremely heavily managed. And in the last few months, like since her documentaries come out, like there's been a noticeable change in her like decorum and just like her commenting. Like, she's been really active on TikTok, and I know I keep saying this, but just like a little bit messy. So her documentary, I watched it. It was not good. I didn't like it. It made her look bad. Like, it just made her look so whiny. And I'm so tired of like celebrity documentaries where they just like sit and like mope about how they can't handle the fame and they can't handle the anxiety. Because for me, I'm always like, I just feel like you can take a break. Like, at a certain point, like you have enough money and like you have enough contracts. Like, okay, maybe let like your current contracts like run them up, but just like don't sign any more new ones. Like, I don't know. So this brings us back to the kidney thing. So Selena Gomez a few years ago had a kidney transplant because of her lupus disease. So her friend Francia Reza, they've been friends since 2007, donated her kidney to Selena. So this happened a few years ago. It was like all these headlines. They had this amazing picture, whatever. There's some rumors circulating afterwards that they had this falling out. I think they were kind of on again, off again friends. I read that Francia was mad that Selena was like continuing to drink and party and go out after the kidney transplant, when like once you get an organ transplant, like you can't really be like engaging in those kinds of activities. So I think there was some issues there where like Francia was saying like, why are you doing this? Like, I literally like risked my life to give you this kidney and now you're like acting a fool. Also, there were some murmurings that like Selena wasn't adequately grateful enough for the kidney. So that's what I heard from Francia's side on some of the gossip accounts. And it kind of like begs the question of like, how grateful like do you have to be, kind of thing. So like if you're donating an organ, like you have to have a reasonable expectation that like the person you're donating to isn't gonna like wake up and like send you flowers every day and like mow your lawn and like, I don't know, I feel like you can be eternally grateful, but ultimately like giving an organ is like an extremely selfless act that like you have to be so selfless that like you can't, like there's nothing that person can do to like repay you. So like, what are you looking for, kind of thing. But I can also see a situation where this girl, Francia, I've heard really good things about her. Like, she seems really nice. Obviously, she donated a kidney. There is a reasonable expectation that you, I don't know, post for her birthday. I'm just like making that up. But like that Selena be a good friend and respond to her. And maybe she like wasn't even doing that. Like maybe Selena was ignoring her. But like there's no way of knowing what was going on. So after the documentary, Selena does this interview, and she, like, the pull quote from the interview was that, like, Taylor Swift is my only true friend in the industry. And that got a ton of buzz because, like, if Taylor Swift's name is attached to it, like, it's going to make headlines. And Francia commented on a post that published that quote and just commented, interesting. And Selena responded to a TikTok about the situation with Francie's comments. And Selena wrote, well, I'm not going to mention everyone that I know, which just made the situation so much worse because it was such a sassy remark. Like, okay, but like you'd at least mention the person that like donated a kidney. But I also like, I do understand the quote. Like when she's saying Taylor Swift's my only friend in the industry, I think she meant like the like A-list pop singer club industry. Like Francia is, I mean, she's kind of like a C-list actress. Like, she's just a smaller time actress. She's in, like, the How I Met Your Mother reboot with Hilary Duff. So I think that's what Selena meant. But commenting that just made it, like, so much worse and is just so messy. So Selena, she's been, like, commenting. She commented on Miley Cyrus's picture, like, damn, under her, like, new album promotion, which is just kind of funny and, like, I don't know. It's just, like, watching Selena, like, thirst over Miley. Like, she's taken back control of her social media. But I will post some of her old Instagram pictures, and they are so funny because she's just so obviously a party girl, and all of this has just been completely erased. But that's it for Selena, like just a quick update on her. I don't really have any skin in the game. I actually really like Hailey Bieber a lot. Like, I think she seems like a really nice girl, and I would like to be her friend. But Selena is fine too. I think she just is like such a pop star that she's just like so in her own head and just like is the kind of person that just has like every need like catered towards her. Like, I just think she has a warped system or like a warped view of reality. So I don't know. That's that. So thank you for indulging me on talking about celebrity gossip. That's literally 3 months old. I don't know. I wanted to talk about it. But next week, we'll have a little bit more timely news and we have some good interviews lined up. So thank you so much for listening.